Hello everybody and welcome. I am Bricker Boom and today is the long-awaited, at least by my Discord folks, the long-awaited challenge of can I beat Pokemon FireRed with only a Magikarp? With a fighting type and a base stat total of 680, I don't know why people seem to have so many issues on beating this challenge with other PokeTubers I've watched, but in the meantime, we start off with 3 simple moves: double kick, bounce, and dive. Our name is, as usual, Boom, and this time around we name our rival Toasty. This is to give our friend Toasty Bats, whose link is down below, a shout out. She's a wholesome streamer friend who plays a variety of games, cooking, and just an all-around kind person. Our Squirtle is replaced with Magikarp, who is aptly named Musclecarp, and our rival has Squirtle, which is fine. Once again, it seems as if Bashumi has gotten his hands on the save files here, and something seems off, but I can't figure out what. Magikarp, as a whole, aside from its name, seems pretty normal, so let's see what happens. To cover the rules pretty quickly here, we can only use Magikarp in battle, but I can use other Pokemon outside of battle for HM use. I do allow the rare candy glitch to be able to cut down on the grinding as voted on by the community. However, we will still attempt any battle between 3 and 5 times before using the candies. There is RNG involved with these fights in regards to crits, status ailments, and the enemy's moveset, so this is the best way I can think of to make it fair. Depending on the area, if we can move forward and try somewhere else and then double back, we'll attempt that too. Rare candies are essentially only used to make sure we're not stuck for hours in a place that we can't advance. Look at it use, Silphco rival fight. Anyway, time to move on. We begin fighting our rival and start off with double kick. That takes him to red, and Squirtle retaliates with a tail whip. After that, another double kick is enough to bring this battle to an end. From here, we complete the beginning game stuff, and we actually go do the optional rival fight. Pidgey is the first out, and its Sans attacks us as we hit it with a double kick. We attempt to use bounce, miss, and get hit with tackle. Going for the more accurate dive pays off as Pidgey goes down. Next up is Squirtle, and we crit on the double kick to bring it to yellow. It hits with tackle, and once more we attempt to bounce, which of course misses, but so does Squirtle. Going back to double kick, we miss, Squirtle hits a weak tackle, and then 2 turns later we hit another double kick, and Squirtle finally goes down. We make our way through the forest with relative ease. We fight the junior trainer in Pewter City, and after that, it's time for Brock. Depending on the Pokemon, especially at this point in the game, Brock can be incredibly easy, or he could be a literal brick wall. In this case, it's the former. I actually felt so confident, I didn't even bother healing, and a single dive takes out the Geodude. When Onix comes out, we use dive again, and knock it out with a single dive as well. First badge down. Mount Moon is about as easy as you would guess, and we naturally pick the Dome Fossil. With this being a bit slower part of gameplay, I did want to say, if you've watched this and watched other of my videos, thank you, first and foremost. If there's something you want me to cover in regards to these playthroughs, by all means, let me know. I'm still working on editing techniques, script writing, etc., and if there's something I can improve upon, I would love to know. It only helps me become a better creator when you guys leave comments, whether good or bad. Anyway, we make it through the rest of the cave and immediately head to fight Misty. We take out the additional trainers in the gym, and then it's time to fight the leader. Misty sends out Staryu, and we begin with a double kick, which thankfully takes it out in one shot. The next is Starmie, who hits us with a Swift. We use Bounce, and Swift misses, and thankfully this time Bounce lands. We get hit again with a Swift and head back up into the air. We continue this back and forth as we miss a few times, and Starmie, of course, isn't going to miss with Swift, so we finally switch to Dive, which does not do much. A Water Pulse hits us, and another bounce misses. A second Water Pulse hits us to confuse us, and we missed our last bounce. Swift takes us to 2 HP, and a following Water Pulse takes us out. Maybe this is where people typically have trouble with Magikarp. I don't know. Round 2. Double kick takes out Staryu as expected, and when Starmie comes out, we start with a double kick, which does pitiful damage. Starmie is using Swift to deal decent damage, and a bounce gets a crit, thankfully, to bring it to red. Misty heals up, and we use another double kick to at least get guaranteed damage, as meager as it may be. We continue to bounce and bring it under half. Another bounce brings it to red, and double kick finally takes it out, leaving us with 18 HP. Okay, maybe this isn't the part where people struggle. I don't know. From there, we head to the bridge, and it's time to fight the rival, and Pidgeotto is up first. Sand attack misses, thankfully, as we dive, and dive brings it to red. A second sand attack unfortunately hits, and we dive again. Our next attack is able to connect to take out the bird before it can throw more pocket sand at us. Abra is up next, and we use dive again to take it out with a one-shot. Rattata is next afterwards, and we miss our first double kick as we get hit with a quick attack. The next double kick takes it out with no issue, and Toasty sends out the ace, Squirtle. Squirtle uses withdrawal, we miss double kick. The next double kick brings it below half as we get tapped with tackle. Then we miss 2 more times before landing another double kick to take out the turtle and win the battle. Through the rest of the route, nothing important really happens, and yes, Bill, I do mean you. Thank you for the ticket. Heading to the SSN, we go through the ship without bothering to level up. While the funds could be useful, we're pretty easily steamrolling through just about everything. We did get Outrage along the way, so naturally we do have to test it out, because, I mean, obviously. And we immediately wipe out Pidgeotto, Kadabra, critical hit the Raticate to further push the conspiracy theory of killing the rivals, and then Wartortle comes out. We finally end our rampage with being confused. Using double kick, we push through the confusion and take it out with a single shot. Even with Outrage, Magikarp is a monster, and I truly don't understand how people have struggled with this beast. Going to face Lieutenant Surge, we take out his trainers, and surprisingly get the trash can puzzle rather quickly. I'm not sure if that's something that was modded in, or if we just got incredibly lucky. I'm not sure. While part of me wants to Outrage sweep through things, I feel like that would really undersell the power of this monster, so we use double kick to take out Voltorb, and Pikachu also goes down to a single hit. After that, Raichu comes out, only to go down at the same time, but paralyzes us upon its demise. Truly, this is the darkest timeline. Speaking of dark, it's time to go through the Dark Cave, and since we don't use Flash, it's mostly fumbling around in the dark. Thankfully, muscle memory is beginning to kick in, and we navigate through pretty quickly now. As always, we go to Celadon first, rather than fight the rival, because taking out a crime lord is more fun. Giovanni Attempt 1 is usually pretty easy. Rest in peace, Hatsy. Refer to my Nuzlocke video. We use Dive, which is able to immediately take out Onyx, and Rhyhorn is out next. We use Dive again, and you guessed it, is a one-shot. Finally, Kangaskhan is out, and we use Double Kick. No, wait, we get Flinch. Next turn, we use Double Kick, and it manages to take it out in a single shot. Now we can go bust some ghosts. Toasty, of course, is waiting for us since the Raticate died. Changed my mind. Sending out Pidgeotto first, Magikarp thankfully is able to one-shot the bird, which naturally avoids us getting sand attacked into oblivion. We use Outrage when Kadabra comes out to remind the rival why Magikarp is king, and take out Kadabra and execute in one shot. Growlithe comes out, and we use Dive after getting hit with a Light Ember. Dive is enough to one-shot the puppy, and last up is Wartortle. We use Double Kick to bring it below half and get hit with a soft Rapid Spin. Snapping out of confusion, we use another Double Kick to bring it down. Finishing up the tower is quick business, and we soon find ourselves in front of Erica. Victory Bell is out first, so we use Bounce since it's flying despite its low accuracy. Thankfully, we hit and manage to take it out in one shot, which prevents us from being paralyzed. Tangela is up next, so we use Bounce again, and once again one shot, preventing another status effect. Vileplume is out, and we use Outrage to take it to low yellow as it uses Giga Drain. The second turn of Outrage, though, is thankfully strong enough to take it down. We go through Cycling Road, do the Safari Zone, and totally remember to give the old man his teeth. I totally didn't forget and have to return later, right before Victory Road. Totally. Anyway, let's fight Koga. Koga actually takes 2 attempts due to bad Toxic Lux, so let's cover the second attempt. Coughing goes down to a critical hit dive, and with Muck we use Outrage and it uses Minimize. We use Dive next turn since Outrage is short-lived, and 2 dives later we do manage to take Muck down, avoiding any type of poison. Coughing is next, and we use Outrage again to one-shot it before it can stall us as it did previously. Wheezing is last, and Outrage is still going to take it down below half. We get hit with Sludge, and Outrage ends. We use another Outrage and finally bring it down to win us the next badge. After this, I know Rival 5 can be an absolute pain, so we opt to go to Cinnabar instead. With being a fighting type, we don't want to face Sabrina just yet. So what we do is we clear the Burnt Mansion and then go to fight Blaine. Blaine delivers the smoothest line in Poke history and sends out Growlithe. We use Dive and take it down with a single shot. After that, Ponyta's out, and we continue to dive to take it out with a single shot as well. Rapidash is third, and now, despite us officially being out-leveled, we managed to take it out with a single hit. Last is Arcanine, and it survives a dive, but it misses Fire Blast. Then Blaine heals up, and we bring it to yellow again with Dive. We actually get hit with Fire Blast before taking it out with an Outrage. Backtracking to Silphco, we use Dive to bring Pidgeot to yellow as it uses Feather Dance. A second dive is enough to take it out. Alakazam comes out and uses Reflect, and we use Bounce. It deals about a third, and we bring it to red, and use a double kick to finish it off. Execute comes out, and we take the future side attack as we bounce up and take it to red. We then use double kick as well to take it down. Growlithe hits a decent takedown, and we use Dive only to be paralyzed underwater. The next dive is enough to take it out, thankfully, but being paralyzed is a pain. Blastoise comes out and spams Protect for a few turns, and this battle, in all honesty, is why I try multiple attempts before leveling up. We stay paralyzed 3 turns before finally using Outrage and finishing off the rival fight. Healing up, we had to fight Giovanni again. Giovanni is a little bit harder, but not too bad if you're an appropriate level, which I would say we are. Double kick hits Nidorino, and we get poisoned right away. Horn attack does a small chunk of damage, and the next attack takes it out. Nidoking is next, and poison stings us, and we do a soft double kick. Next turn, we land dive to one-shot it, and as Kangaskhan comes out, we kick it with the first kick, and then Rhyhorn comes out to meet our second kick, and that wins us the next battle. Time for Sabrina. Kadabra is up first and sets up a Calm Mind, and we land a hard dive to bring it to yellow. Sabrina heals up as we spring up and take it down with Bounce the next turn. Mr. Mime is next, and we use Dive to bring it to yellow, as Mr. Mime sets up Calm Mind, then gets healed. Double kick lands a crit to bring it to red, and a second double kick takes it out. Alakazam goes down to a single bounce, and last up is Venomoth, who I believe was a gift from Koga. Going to red with a dive, we get hit with Psybeam, and a double kick takes it out, getting us the 7th badge. Heading back to Viridian City, we fight Giovanni for the last time, and it's time for him to understand his Pokemon cannot beat my fish. We use Dive on Rhyhorn to take it out. Dugtrio is up next and goes down to double kick. Dive is used against Nidoking and Nidoqueen. And finally, the next Rhyhorn and final Rhyhorn gets finished off with the same move to win us the 8th badge. From here, the next 6 battles are the most difficult, but we're actually making pretty good time. We use Dive against Pidgeot to bring it to mid-yellow. A second dive is enough to take it out. Our attack is down due to the Feather Dance it landed, but at least our accuracy is in check. Alakazam is next, and we use Bounce, which in hindsight is both good and bad. If it one-shots, it's fine, but Alakazam has Synchronize, so if it gets paralyzed, so do we. We learned this from our first attempt. Thankfully, no paralysis this time, and we take it out with another Bounce. When Execute comes out, we bring it to yellow with a Bounce, get paralyzed, and take it out with Outrage. Growlithe hits us with Takedown, and we stay paralyzed. 2 turns later, we use Dive and take it out as Rhyhorn comes out, and we continue to dive. Blastoise is last, and we use Bounce, but get paralyzed on the way down. The next Bounce crits and brings it to half and paralyzes it, and then we use Outrage, but stay paralyzed before using it again to bring the battle to an end. Like I said, did take a couple of attempts, but so far, this is going pretty well. The trek through Victory Road is smooth enough, but the fight against Lorelei is what brings our Reign of Terror to an end. We actually need to level up to level 60 before we even stand a chance. Just with how bulky her team is, and the fact that they do land fairly powerful moves, it unfortunately became inevitable. But Dugong goes down to a double kick before it can set up Hail. Slowbro comes out, and we use Bounce to bring it to about half and paralyze it. Diving under, we still get hit with Surf a few times, but Outrage does finish it off. Cloister is out next and has an annoying habit of using Protect, which naturally it does. The next turn we use a double kick as it sets up spikes then heals. Double kick brings it back to red and it uses Protect before finally another double kick takes it out. Jinx is next and double kick proves to be enough to take it out, and last up is Lapras. A double kick brings it to yellow, and I'm happy I kept the move to tear through ice types as we get hit with Confuse Ray. Breaking through it, we land another double kick to win us the first of the Elite Four. Bruno is up next, and we immediately take down the first Onix with a dive. The second Onix comes out and gets hit with a double kick to bring it to a sliver. Earthquake hits for a small chunk, and Bruno heals up next turn as we use double kick again to bring it to red once more. Next turn it goes down. When Hitmonchan comes out, we use Bounce to take it out with a single shot. Hitmonlee is next and goes down to the same. And finally, Machamp is out and goes to red with Bounce, getting paralyzed. It does heal up with its berry, but despite that, it still ends up getting full healed. We hit it with another Bounce. Cross Shot brings us to yellow, and we finally bring down Mortal Kombat's Goro to win us the second of the Elite Four battles. Agatha, unfortunately, is another trainer who is an absolute nightmare. Between Double Team, Curse, Hypnosis, Dream Eater, Toxic, and every other status condition under the sun, it takes multiple attempts. Finally, at level 65, Gengar goes down in 3 dives, and when Golbat comes out, we're able to hit a hard bounce. When Confuse Ray hits, we smack ourselves 3 separate times before taking it out. Haunter is next and thankfully goes down to a single Outrage. Gengar is next and we start Outrage again and hit it hard to take it out after 2 hits, but we get poison along the way. Arbok is next and we manage to land a critical hit Outrage and snap out of Confusion, leaving us with only 2 HP thanks to poison bringing us so low. 3 out of 4. Time for Lance. Gyarados is out first, and I realize we forgot to use a PP Plenisher, but it's fine. Outrage is enough to bring it to red, and we finish the last of its HP with a double kick. When Aerodactyl comes out, we use Dive and Snap out of Confusion to get a much appreciated one-shot. When Dragonite comes out, we immediately switch to Dragon Rage to do super effective damage against the Dragon-like Titans. Wing Attack brings us to lowish yellow, and we take it out. A critical hit Outrage is enough for Dragonair, and when the second one comes out, we get hit with Confusion and Dragon Rage. Once again, we snap out of Confusion in time and take out Dragonair without much issue. At level 75, for the final rival fight, we use Dive on Pidgeot to take it out with one shot. As you can guess, the sand attacking is what brings most of these attempts to an end, so knocking it out early is always huge. Using Dive, we bring Alakazam to red. It heals up, and we use Dive again. Alakazam likes to play the stall game and uses Recover before we take it down. Exeggutor comes out, and we miss Bounce to get hit with Giga Drain, but the next bounce lands. Rhydon comes out, and we hit a Dive to bring it down. Arcanine is next, and we use Dive to bring it down in one shot as well. Lastly, it's Blastoise, and we begin to Outrage as it eats a berry and starts rain dancing. The rival heals up and we continue outraging. We hurt ourselves and get hit with a Hydro Pump. Snapping out of Confusion next turn, we land another Outrage to become the Pokemon Champion. And with my newfound fame and status, I feel like I should come clean. Now, please don't judge me, because I know this is hard to believe, but it turns out Magikarp is not a fighting type with a SAD distribution above 600. It is, in fact, actually a water type with quite poor stats. For a fun, quick video, Bashumi, being the madman he is, created this fish and had it trained with a Mewtwo to be able to match its stats. overall, I hope you enjoyed watching. It was a lot of fun just to make a quick little April Fool's video. I really enjoy doing random stuff like this. If there's any other runs you'd like to see me try, whether legitimate or not, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you haven't yet, make sure to join the Discord using the link below as well, because I do have a challenge run channel. Literally any ideas only provide me with more opportunity for content. And as always, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, think about hitting the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. I'm not really sure what I have planned next for next Thursday's attempt or challenge, but I'll keep you updated as soon as I find out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.